What's going on?
Welcome to
Another episode of D313
Rapaport, episode
episode
16.
16.
Hey, Bree,
Hey, Bree, you got something in the
background?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So echo in
the background.
Yep. Okay. Good.
That's your mic,
That's
sir?
your mic, sir?
Yep.
Check your mic.
Check your mic.
Okay. Is everything good?
Yep.
Everything good?
No, still acting.
Okay. I probably got to get like some headphones or something.
Yeah.
Just exit out and come back.
Okay.
Very apologize for the technical difficulties around here. I said, welcome to another episode of D313 Rapaport, episode 16. This is your boy DC1. Steve and Novus J will be joining us shortly. Got our special guest, NFL Network reporter. I've been dying for this, and us, the other guys, been waiting for this. Steve Wyche, NFL Network reporter, man. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining, man.
Oh, DC, man, thanks for the invite. I'm glad to be on. You know, holler at the folks in the 313. I love Detroit, so I'm excited to be on, my man.
Absolutely, man. It's definitely glad to have you on, man. So, man, it's definitely look for a exciting show, man. So let's go ahead and get this thing started, man. So, as you know, if those who don't know who Steve Wyche is, he's an NFL Network reporter, man, currently. So, if you all your football fans out here, whether if you're Lions, whoever, Eagles, whoever fans you are, hope y'all always watch NFL Network, not just ESPN and all those other networks. Make sure you watch NFL Network. They always give you the updates of what's going on, man. So, Steve Wyche, man, we'd like to go ahead and start it off, man. Just introduce yourself. Do a little bit of your background, how long you've been in reporter. So we'll go ahead and kick it off with you, sir.
Yeah, man. And in my 15th season at NFL Network. I'm from St. Louis, so I'm a Midwesterner, like most folks from Detroit. Grew up in the Lou. But yeah, I've been 15 years at Howard, at NFL Network. After graduating from Howard University, I was a long-time writer. Worked newspaper business, worked in Richmond, Virginia, worked in Miami, back in D.C., covering the NBA. I was up in Detroit a lot when the Pistons were winning championships. And then went to Atlanta. I was working in Atlanta as a writer for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution before I got to the NFL Network in 2008. So, very fortunate to be doing what I'm doing. Met a lot of people, dealt with a lot of big, important issues. And looking forward for the season to kick off with the Lions and the Chiefs next week.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. We're glad to have you on the show, man. It's just so exciting, man. Bree, man, what's going on with you, man? How you feeling?
I'm doing good, man. Know this show is gonna be fun and everything. How you doing, Steve?
I'm good, my man. How's everything?
Man, blessed. I can't tell you enough how much we appreciate you being on, man. I can't say it enough. Thank you so much, and having the time to being on. That's.
Oh, well, thanks for inviting me, man.
Oh, no problem. No problem. Thank you for having the time to being on, man.
Absolutely, man. Man. So let's get this thing cracking, man. Listen. We got to talk about it, man. We got to talk about our hometown team, man. We got to talk about the Detroit Lions. So, Mr. Steve, man, what are your feelings about the Detroit Lions? What are your expectations? What do you see with this Lions team?
Well, I expect for them to be in the playoffs this year. They finished the season well last year, but the one thing about momentum in the NFL is it really doesn't carry from season to season unless you've got a mature locker room, an established, consistent, coherent coaching staff, and talent, right? So Brad Holmes, the general manager, his assistant Ray Agnew, and that staff, they have put players on this team. They've got a really strong offensive line. Aiden Hutchinson was a great draft pick last year. James Houston comes in, so they got some nice young edge rushers. They go out and they get Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in free agency to help in the secondary. Draft Jameer Gibbs, a running back. Again, Amon-Ra St. Brown, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. I mean, there's players here. I think Jared Goff, if people are wondering if he's going to fall off or whatever, I think he's going to continue to develop under Ben Johnson with Mark Brunell as his quarterback coach. So, look, they're a good team. And when you speak to coaches on other teams, I had one coach telling me, like, he's like, I'd almost be disappointed if the Lions didn't make the playoffs with all the talent that they have, with that coaching staff, and just the momentum and the maturity they've shown with the way they've built this thing. So, look, anything can happen. That's why we play 17 games. But the fact that they built this team on the offensive line, they built the interior of this thing. That's where it all starts. And they're tough. And Dan Campbell and those guys have established a mentality. Now it's really up to see the attitude and the maturity of these players to see if they can handle expectations.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Bree, you got anything you want to add?
Yeah, I got big hopes for the Lions. I know momentum. You can't always judge on momentum, but it's just you just got to play the game. That's all it's about. It's no matter what the expectations is. You still got to go out there and play the game because it's a lot of expectations, and now it's like it's just a lot of expectations, and this team is not used to that. So they have to perform. And going against the Chiefs, that's the biggest test, going against the champs. And if you can go in there and beat them, then the sky's the limit for this season. But I got big hopes. We got good acquisitions. And we just got to stay healthy and limit them penalties. If we can do that, man, we can do some things. Absolutely. And in that division, with no Aaron Rodgers too, so that just leaves it wide open. So hopefully we can win that division because, with the Bears and the Packers and the Vikings. So I know we can do well. I know we can definitely do well and get that home playoff game, and that's what we want. So I just got to take it a day. Just got to take it a game at a time, and we'll be just fine.
Absolutely, man. You just got to take it a game at a time because like I said, we haven't done anything yet. We got to first. We went on to 8. Went 8 on our last 10 games to finish off the season. Went 9-8, missed the playoffs. You had a great practice. Training camp practice. We got guys that's out there playing hard and going out there and showing what they got. They want to play. They playing hard for this coaching staff, this organization. So they want to care. They got to make sure they carry that over and do the right things, not making stupid penalties, not making stupid turnovers. Be disciplined, and if they could do those things and make the smart plays and make the right decisions, this team could go a long way. But it's got to start take steps at a time. The fan base, some of the fans, other people, just kind of want to, bring the Lions all the way up, like they're going to be win the NFC and they're going to, win the Super Bowl and all that. But we have to understand we got to take it a game at a time. We got to make sure that our team are together. Our chemistry has to be together. They have to play hard. They got to make smart decisions. So win football games. I mean, there are going to be some games. It's going to come down to the wire. There's going to be games. This might be blowouts. They always say some losses are good losses. Some losses are good because that way you can learn from those losses to go carry over to the next game. So, but I really believe this Lions team just taking a game at a time. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to just go crazy. Oh, we're going to go to the Super Bowl. We're going to win it. No, it's not. No. Let's take this. Let's get to win football games and win a division first before we're talking the next step. We got the NFC is not loaded. It's not loaded. You got the Eagles, the 49ers. Now they're pretty much is their quarterback situations. Either they're going with Brock Purdy and Sam Darnold, since Trey Lance been traded to the Cowboys. So you people want to put the Dallas Cowboys in, but the Detroit Lions should be one of those teams that they should be competing to be in the getting in the playoffs and win a division. And that's how it should be. So
I agree with that. I agree with
absolutely,
that.
absolutely. So yes. Speaking of with the Lions, they kicking off with against the Kansas City Chiefs next Thursday, September 7th on NBC. So Steve, man, so what do you uh see, expectations seem for coming for this game against the Kansas City Chiefs?
Well, again, you heard me talk about maturity, right? When's the last time that the Lions have been playing in primetime games? See, I've covered this league for a long time. There's a lot of times teams will finish strong. They've got exciting players that they think people want to see, so they'll get multiple primetime games like the Lions have, and these teams choke, right? They're not used. They're not used to expectations. You're not used to sitting around all day before having to play a game. So this is where the coaching staff and some of the veteran leaders on this team have got to step up and be like, here's some of the things we want to do. And the Lions don't have a ton of veterans on their team who have been in these situations before. So that's, again, where the coaching staff has to show a leadership, because they don't have necessarily a locker room other than guys like Jared Goff and some of these other dudes who've been in these circumstances before. I mean, I remember years ago when I covered the Atlanta Falcons, they played a bunch of primetime games after going to the NFC Championship in 2004 when Michael Vick was their quarterback. Well, they couldn't handle it. They could not deal with the primetime pressure. So this is where maturity comes in. Now, I'm not saying if the Lions go out there and they lose that game to the Chiefs, that all of a sudden they can't handle it. The Chiefs are a good team, right? They're the Super Bowl champions. They got the best player in the NFL on their team in Patrick Mahomes. They've got to learn how to deal with this because, the Lions have more primetime games. How do you handle yourself during the day? How do you contain that energy, that adrenaline, to make sure when you kick off at 7:30 or whatever time they kick off, that you're good? There's all kind of different things you have to do after a whole career playing games at 1 o'clock Eastern. So the expectation is going to be there. We're going to find out pretty soon if the Lions can handle it. And again, I think they're the type of team with the way they play that they'll be able to deal with it. We'll see. But, I think that opener is going to be a shootout, and I'm hoping it is.
Absolutely. So what is your percentage would you give the Lions to go into Kansas City to win that game?
Oh, well. I mean, 50-50. I mean, everyone's got a shot. I mean, look, if there's a time to play the Chiefs, it's week 1. Right? Chris Jones might not be there, one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL. He might not be on the team. He still might be figuring out, Kadarius Toney's going to play. So there's no team is in perfect form week 1. So if you're going to catch the Chiefs, now's the time to catch them, not week 14. So we'll see.
It's we'll see what happens. I really believe that the Detroit Lions can go out there and they can win that football game. It could be a slugfest. It could be a shootout. But you got to understand too. Yes, the Kansas City Chiefs, lost some of their guys. They lost. Eric Bieniemy is, the offensive coordinator, went over to Washington. So it's going to be some different type of offense. You're going to
the offense will be the same. Offense will be the same.
Okay. Well, it's Andy Reid.
Andy Reid, Matt Nagy, and they've been there.
Yeah. So it's
that defense is kind of shaky though. You can definitely score on the defense, especially that secondary is a little.
What did that defense?
You can pass on them.
Man, secondary is pretty good.
Yeah.
Would you gotta think that defense with Steve Spagnuolo's defense. They somewhat bend, but they don't break.
Mm-hmm.
They make plays when they have to. When they make plays, they step up when it's that time, when it's clutch time. They step up. Their defense don't always like the Baltimore Ravens defense, like the Tampa Bay 2002 Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. Or like the 2015 Denver Broncos defense. They don't go. They ain't like that defense. But when they make the stops, they need to make stops. You make stop. That's what they do, man. Especially in clutch situations, man. So, but yeah, Steve Spagnuolo's defense, man. It's just he's one of the best defensive coordinators out there. So, you can't count them out, man. You really can't. So, um, like I say, it could be a shootout or it could be a slugfest because you got sometimes it'd be a slugfest. It'd be a defensive game that especially the first game of the season. The only game you're on national televised. Everybody is watching you, so you get all the adrenaline, the nerves, and people just is the anxious to go out there and they trying to get the bigger plays and it turns and you could be turning the ball over. You're not getting first downs and stuff. So it's going to be a lot, especially guys. Just being you know you get there, especially the starters haven't played. In the preseason game. So our starters haven't played at all. So so it's gonna take some time, you know. But it's gonna be fun, exciting. Um, I'm definitely looking forward to it. The Lions has not been on prime time in a while. It had that many prime time games in a while. So, like you said, Steve, just the maturity. Can they, you know, make sure they just, be focused. What I'm saying? Just you going to a hostile environment with a team that's going to get in the Super Bowl rings. The fan base is going to be crazy in Kansas. I mean, how it is in Kansas City. That fan base is loud and they're crazy out there.
Yep.
Yeah, we gonna have some Lions fans out there too. Best to believe they're gonna be out there.
Yeah,
There you
they're
go.
gonna be out there, but you're gonna be hearing a whole lot of Chiefs fans. So
Right.
I'm sure this week they're practicing a whole lot of silent count stuff and things like that because they're not gonna be able to hear themselves.
Yeah,
It's going to be deafening loud.
yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
And,
So
and they've been through every situation. So Kansas City has been through every situation. So you're not gonna surprise, especially Mahomes. He done seen every bit of defense you can imagine. So he's gonna be already ready. He knows what to expect. It's just sometimes you got to try to surprise him if you can surprise him. So you just got to keep constant pressure on him. And you can't, even though he has those throws, but it shows how good of a quarterback he really is. But you got to just keep putting pressure on him. That's the only way you can beat
You
him.
can't kick field goals. You have to score.
Absolutely.
Like one of the best games I've ever been at was, when the Chiefs and Rams played out here in Los Angeles with a 54-51 game.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who the Rams quarterback was then?
Yeah.
Jared Goff.
Golf.
So
Yeah.
when he needs a deal, he can deal.
Yeah. This is an offense who can score in 13 seconds. Just ask the Bills.
Yeah, definitely. They can score, and you see what in the Super Bowl, and just past Super Bowl, and you're playing against the Eagles, and it was a shootout, and it came down to who made the plays the most, and that one turnover, hurt it, saying they gave Kansas City the momentum, even though Patrick Mahomes was playing hurt, and he still gutted out and he made plays when they had to, man. So you never count Kansas City out. Like he said, it's just a team, they're the Super Bowl defending champs, with the best player in the league, Patrick Mahomes, and you still got the best tight end, Travis Kelsey. Uh, I mean, they're loaded. So they're loaded. So you have to believe, even though they lost some players, even though they're still loaded. They not rebuilding, they reloading because they want to get back to the Super Bowl again. So you've been in 5 AFC Championship games. I mean, all in at home, man, that's a lot. AFC is loaded, so it is very loaded. So speaking of the AFC, Mr. Steve, I want to bring this right quick. Who do you think? Which team in the AFC that have a chance that can dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs?
Man, there's about 10 teams. I mean, Cincinnati's always there. Chiefs, that's a tough head-to-head matchup. Cincinnati's got the second best quarterback in the conference, and Joe Burrow. He's a killer. Buffalo with Josh Allen. We'll see Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. We'll see, everybody, right there. I'm big on the entire AFC North because I think Cleveland's going to be really good this year. I think Baltimore could be really good this year, and Pittsburgh could be really good this year. So there's some teams. I mean, the Chargers, Justin Herbert. Every year, the Chargers have probably the most exciting looking team on paper, but they don't finish the drill. Jacksonville's to come up. There's going to be a team we're not talking about that's going to show up somewhere. Could it be Denver? We'll see. Could it be the Raiders? I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
But the AFC, like you said, is loaded. It's stacked. The AFC East is Miami is so talented. If Tua stays healthy with all that talent, they could be the team that does it. So we'll see. I mean, Miami getting Vic Fangio to run their defense now. I mean, they got a lot of talent on the defensive side. That could be what gets them over the hump. So it's going to be a really test week in and week out for teams in the AFC.
Absolutely, man. I mean, Bree, who do you think that a team in the AFC that can dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs?
Well, definitely, Cincinnati. Definitely the Bengals and the Bills. I think they're the front runners on it. I think those are the two best teams that can. But I'm with Steve. It could be any team that can win. It can be a team that we can't even think of that could beat them and surprise them. So that's how the league is, and that's how playoffs is. Like you can have the best record, but then there can always be a team that can just get you. I think a few years ago, Tennessee, with Derrick Henry. Who would have thought they would have did that? Or Baltimore. It's always that, and even the Rams a couple years ago, when they won it, nobody thought that they was going to do anything, and they won it. So the NFL can be tricky sometimes. It could be that team that's barely win their division and can mess around and go all the way to the Super Bowl.
Giants did it twice. Giants won both their Super Bowls off a wild card, coming out of the wild card. So
yeah,
it can happen.
Yeah, it's all about matchups.
Yep, it's
look
all about matchups.
Look at the Baltimore Ravens with Joe Flacco. They won it. There was a wild card. They Joe Flacco with 11 touchdowns, no interceptions. And it can happen. It's the AFC is loaded. So what about the NFC, Mr. Steve? Who you think that could be the team that can dethrone the Philadelphia Eagles? Even though the NFC is not really as loaded as the AFC.
Yeah, I mean the quarterbacks in the NFC aren't as stacked as we see in the NFC, but I mean San Francisco absolutely. I mean San Francisco's a deal, and if Brock Purdy stays healthy, they're going to be right there. I think Seattle's a team we're not talking about enough. I think that's a really good football team.
Absolutely.
They added some depth at running back, added some depth in the secondary, got Bobby Wagner back. Dallas is a very, very talented football team. Nobody wants to give them the credit, and they're all this on that on Dak. That's a very, very good football team. And in the old division, I mean, in the NFC North, the Vikings lost a lot of players, man, but that was a 13-win team last year. You can't necessarily overlook them. Jordan Love has looked like he's starting to understand the game a little bit. I think Chicago's still a year away. The NFC is going to be interesting, man. The NFC South is kind of like, I think the Saints could be really good. I think Derek Carr is going to be good for the Saints if Michael Thomas can stay healthy. That receiving core with Chris Olave and some of the tight ends that they have down there with Taysom Hill. I see Jimmy Graham is back.
Yeah.
The Saints could be a really dangerous football team as well. As long as they don't turn the ball over, they could be a very dangerous team. So the NFC to me is really up for grabs. because even though Philadelphia is loaded and Jalen Hurts is a stud, defensively they lost a lot up the middle. I mean, Javon, not Kinlaw. Why am I? Hargrave, the nose tackle for the Eagles, he's with the 49ers now. Both their linebackers are gone. Santi Gardner-Johnson is with the Lions. So they've lost. Both their starting safeties are gone. So up the middle of the defense, they're replacing with all these University of Georgia guys. So it might take them a minute to get situated too. But the Eagles are going to be good. This is why the NFL is so great. Because right now we're talking about 20 teams that are really good. There's only about 5 teams we're talking about that we don't think are going to make the playoffs.
Right.
So that's why, look, there's going to be an injury that's going to unsettle a team we're thinking about. There's going to be a player who's going to emerge we're not talking about. It's why it's the greatest sport that there is in this country.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. So, do you have a surprise team, a team that's going to come out of nowhere that could possibly even make the playoffs or be contending for the playoffs? Do you have a surprise team in the area?
It's hard to say they're surprised. I think the Atlanta Falcons are a dangerous team. It all depends on Desmond Ridder, but I mean, they've established their identity. Strong offensive line. They beefed up their defensive line by signing David Onyemata, Calais Campbell to go next to Grady Jarrett. They got Jesse Bates, the safety from Cincinnati. And then offensively, they draft Bijan Robinson to go with Tyler Algier, a player no one talks about who rushed for more than 1,000 yards last year. It all depends on Desmond Ridder. If he doesn't turn the ball over, I mean, if he can play as efficiently as Brock Purdy, the Atlanta Falcons could be a very, very dangerous football team.
Bree, what you think, man? Who's your team you got?
I agree with Atlanta because I've been saying Atlanta for the longest that they could surprise some people, and it's just about Ridder. And I think Pitt's gonna have a good year. I think that running game is gonna be better. And I think with them getting Okuda with AJ Terrell, that's gonna help that second.
A Lions fan bigging up Jeff Okuda.
Yeah. I've been a fan of his, so it was hard for him to go, just like it was hard for Swift. I was like, oh man, I was just hurt when DeAndre Swift was gone. But hey, that's the business of the NFL. So, but I think the Falcons. I think they could surprise some people. Maybe the Rams. They could be a bounce back year for them. Maybe if they defense is. Maybe. And I would say AFC definitely Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville is going to be better than what people think.
Yeah, Calvin Ridley joined that.
Jacksonville
would be very dangerous.
I would say them. And I would say the Browns too. I think the Browns could be better as well.
Yes, they could. The Browns could be that could be a sleeper team. They're loaded. I've been up to their training camp. They are stocked.
Yeah.
I actually got them upsetting Cincinnati in week 1. I got them winning.
I mean, they beat the Bengals. That's a matchup thing. They've beaten the Bengals 5 out of the 6 last times they played. I mean, they're 8-2 in the last 10 games. So that's just one of those matchup things. We'll see. So that would not be a surprise at all.
Absolutely, man.
Plus, I would like to see how even in that game, I'm looking into that game also too, because I want to see what kind of tribute they do to for Jim Brown too for that game. I'm really looking forward to that as well.
Is that game in Cleveland or Cincinnati?
I think it's in Cleveland.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got a team. Well, 2 teams. One of them, I believe they definitely will make the playoffs. But I'm gonna start with the other team that may not contend for the playoffs, but I think they're gonna be better than what people think. I'm gonna say the Houston Texans. The reason I say the Houston Texans because I like DeMeco Ryans. He was the defensive coordinator, as you know, with the 49ers. I see this team is going to play hard for DeMeco Ryans and that coaching staff. I know CJ Stroud, he's a rookie quarterback, and I know he's going to have some ups and downs and stuff. But I can see this Houston team, even though they may not continue to get in the playoffs, but I think they're gonna make give. Even though the AFC South is not great, I don't know what's with Tennessee, and I get question marks with the Colts. But I believe the Houston Texans, I would not be surprised they would be second in their division because I really don't trust Tennessee. I definitely don't trust what the Colts are they're going to be doing, and what especially the situation with man, I probably ain't gonna have Jonathan Taylor anymore. So I believe this Houston Texans team is going to be in the right direction. It might take another year for them to contend for the playoffs, but I can see this Houston team. This is going to give some teams some problems this year. I could see them. I could see them win at least about 7 games. I could see them. I like D'Amico Ryans. I liked him when he was a player, when he was with the player for the Houston Texans. So I believe in him, and I believe this defense is going to be better. And I look, they're going to give people problems. That's how I believe. I believe this Houston Texans is going to get them problems. And as another team, I'm gonna definitely agree with the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns, I believe they're going to make the playoffs. That AFC North is tough. That to me, that should be the toughest division in football. I mean, you can't, Cincinnati should be the favorites for that division, but again, you got Baltimore. Can Odell and Lamar can stay healthy? We'll see with the Cleveland Browns. We see, with the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow and those guys, can they keep it going? Pittsburgh. Say what you want. Mike Tomlin and that Pittsburgh Steelers team, they'll never quit. They play hard, and they're gonna defend, and they like to love to run the football. So this Pittsburgh Steelers team, never count them out. They don't have they not as what they call a sexy pick like they used to be and all that, but that team never quits. That team plays hard. And under Mike Tomlin, his whole coaching tenure with the Steelers, never have a losing record. It's amazing what this man has done with this franchise.
Absolutely.
You cannot underestimate this team. They could be the third team out of that division to be in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They could be a third team because somebody in that division is going to be out, not going to make it, or somewhere it could be crazy things that happen in the NFL. It could probably be 4 teams. Who knows? I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
There will not be 4. There will not be 4.
It's
They're
crazy.
going to beat each other. Those teams will beat each other too much. I mean, you'll be a wild card team, like maybe the Chargers. One of those teams coming out of the East, but they will not be 4 coming out of the North.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you another team nobody talks about that could surprise, and I think it's the Washington Commanders.
I knew you were going to say that, man.
Yeah, I think because they got a good defense. They just gotta situate that quarterback position. But I like Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel and Antonio Gibson. I like that team. They just got to stay healthy.
Running back. Look, Eric Bieniemy's going to pound the football, right? They're going to run the football. They get the offensive line together. They'll take some pressure off of Sam Howell, who I got to tell you, in the preseason, look, the preseason is the biggest liar there is. But Sam Howell looks like he understands how to play this game. He really looked like he fit into what Eric Bieniemy's trying to do offensively. And I don't think the Commanders are as much of a reach as people think. That's a tough division, but they could be good. They could be a lot better than what people are thinking.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, the Commanders, they moving. You remember too, people, kind of, a lot of them write them off, but they finished the season 8-1.
Who's that?
The Commanders, they finished the season last season was 8-1. I mean, they did beat the Eagles last season. They did beat them.
We're saying here right now, we're basically giving like 3 teams. We're saying have no shot to go to the playoffs. Right? That's what the greatness of the NFL is.
Yeah.
Like right now, there's 32 teams. Well, 31 that think they have a shot. Arizona's like, we're going to wait for a couple years, but there's 31 teams who feel very good about where they are right now.
Yeah. Well, we're not going Arizona. I disagree with you with the Rams breed. The Rams, I don't know about that.
They're not going to be terrible, but they got some leaks on defense.
Yeah, I don't. It's the teams, Tampa Bay. Brady's not coming back.
No,
I mean, obviously,
no.
I mean, Brady's not coming back out, from his home to go play.
It doesn't matter. He was there last year, and they still had a losing record. They made the playoffs, but hey, fellas, I got to get ready to dip. But I appreciate you having me on. Okay.
Well, man, thank you, Steve, man, for joining us, man.
Hey, you're welcome anytime, man. Welcome anytime,
you guys.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, man. Very appreciate you, man.
You got it. Take
appreciate you. Yes, sir. You too.
Man, it was definitely having him on the show, man. It was.
Man. Definitely.
Yeah, man.
Definitely appreciate him. His busy schedule and being in the NFL Network to come on, man. That's a blessing, man. That is
absolutely
a blessing.
Man, I want to give a shout out to everybody in the comments, man. I want to give a shout out to Big Willie Styles, DSN Network, man. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe and follow them, man. And make sure y'all, they be dropping content, man. So make sure y'all check that out. I want to also give a shout out to 0-16, the guy, man. Used to always call you, what's up, Mr. Plug? Yeah,
I don't know what he talking about, man. I don't know about no plug. No. I don't know what you're talking about, brother. No.
Man. We got to get a shout out to, our Mr. Banks, Michael Banks, man.
Yes,
in the
sir.
Comments. Boot up. Yes, sir.
Boot up.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Give a shout out to Lorenzo Allen, man. Alex Heron, man. The guys that's in the chat, man. We definitely appreciate y'all, man. Definitely, showing love and the support, man. So it's definitely, yep. But yeah,
yes, sir. Yeah.
Well, what's going on with Nomus J, man. Hopefully
he taking his classic Cheez-Its and Modelo breaks.
He sure is doing something, man. But it's definitely, man. Yeah, man. So
but I'm gonna say this too, man. With the I'm gonna say Miami, if Tua can stay off them concussions, because they got 2 elite wide receivers in Hill and Waddle. Mm-hmm. They gotta get that running game together too. But with them getting Jalen Ramsey, and now you got Xavier Howard, you got 2 of probably the best corners in the league.
Absolutely.
So, you know what I'm saying? You got to be cautious of throwing that football. So they and they need a good defense being in that AFC East, man. So when you got Buffalo and the Jets, you know what I'm saying, New England, hey, don't count out New England too. You know what I'm saying? Don't count them out to a degree, because Mac, you still got Belichick. So you never know. But hey, man, it is what it is, man. That's why you play the game. Anything can happen. I think we're gonna get a surprise team that we don't think of. That's gonna probably make the playoffs. I'm almost certain.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain. But I think the Bears gonna be better than what people think. I think the Packers gonna be better than what people think. I don't know about because I seen a article talking about the Bears is gonna be 12-5. I'm like, come on, bruh. No, stop.
We ain't gonna even go there. Man,
The Lions and Packers gonna be tied and be 9-8. Like, no, stop.
let's talk about some little college football right quick, man.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about Michigan.
Let's talk about the best college in the country.
Let's talk about this. What's this team right here? Green and white.
Green and white.
What's this? Michigan State.
Uh-oh.
Look what we got here.
Uh-oh.
Look what we got here. Mr. Modelo.
We got
Mr.
float
G.
like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Who is gonna be? It's the.
You can't get nothing around that mess. Hey, don't tell me I missed our guest. Don't tell me.
Yes, you did, sir. Yes, you did. But
You did. You did, brother.
You did, sir. You did, sir. But we're going to talking about Michigan State football. Then, of course, you Michigan fans on the chat. I guess we could talk about them a little bit. Whatever, you know. Yeah. Michigan State. So let's definitely get into it, man. Michigan State football will be playing against Central Michigan Friday on FS1, not on Tubi, not on no dang on Tubi. King and Owen and all them talking about we playing on gonna be Tubi. I remember keep that same energy when y'all talking. That remember I was watch y'all too talking that Tubi stuff. At least we ain't on Peacock, okay? Come on now, we on FS1. We ain't gotta sit there.
At least we got our coach.
Yes. Exactly.
At least we got our coach coaching this weekend. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. So Michigan State, man, going to this game Friday night, 7 p.m. FS1, man, against Central Michigan, man. Definitely we're excited. Me, Breed, and Miss, man. I know you in between. It doesn't matter. Between you and Michigan State, it doesn't matter with you, but definitely, man. We're excited for it, man. So Bree, man, start with you, man. What are you looking for this Michigan State team, man, for this season, man? What are you looking for this Michigan State team, man, for this season, man?
I'm looking for a winning record, that's for sure. But I'm can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely a winning record. And we just got to see the identity on this team, man. I mean, we got a brand new quarterback. Get some new receivers. We're gonna be interested to see how this gonna be, man. We gave up a lot of yards last year, so hopefully the defense is better. I think they're gonna have a better year this year, man. I think we're gonna be better than what people think. I think the quarterback position, I think it's going to be a lot better. So then we got Mel Tucker, so we good. Everything's going to be good. He's going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be right back into the thick of things. So I know it's we not known for getting cupcakes like some team, but we're not going to go there. But I think we're gonna be a better team, man. I think we can get about 9-10 wins. You know what I mean? I think we can. You know what I'm saying? I think the big test is definitely gonna be Washington. That's gonna be a big test with facing the top 10 team. You know what I'm saying? Even though just like another team ain't gonna face a top team until later on the year, but we get ours early. So I think we're gonna be good. It's just gonna be interesting to see how this team starts off against Central Michigan. I believe it's like a 14-point spread, I believe, which kind of surprised that. But, I mean, hey, hopefully we can blow them out. We'll see how this offense is. Hopefully we don't give up too many yards and too many points. But I think we're going to be good. I think we can get about 9-10 wins this year. I really believe that.
Miss.
All right, so really, I'm gonna just quickly speak for both situations as best I can. For Spartans, I do want to see them establish the run because when you put give the Spartans a run game, they can do some damage. Definitely, we saw it with Kenneth Walker. Le'Veon Bell was a good player for y'all back in the day. So you want the Spartans to find a run game because if they can't do anything else, running the ball will give them a chance. I mean, we know that from Michigan. The run was very effective for taking down Ohio State and a couple other teams.
Hey, 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 hey,
Oh, I'm
hey,
sorry,
hey,
that
hey.
Columbus school, that Columbus school. I'm sorry. Thank you for reminding me. But yeah, that's what both teams like I said, we already know with Michigan they're gonna come with the run game. But as far as Michigan State, I would like to see them establish the run. I'm just a fan of the run game. So I do want to see with their quarterback and how he's gonna play because obviously he's a new quarterback for y'all. So that part I am interested. Hopefully the old line for the Spartans is improved and hopefully that defense in general is improved. Like I said, Washington it's been kind of giving y'all some trouble. Well, giving us some trouble. Like I said, I'm a Spartan fan too, but I kind of want to see State get through that. Now, as far as Michigan, like I said, I need them to play a little bit more physical throughout the whole defense. I need more increased quarterback play from J.J. McCarthy. Definitely, it was a good film to come off because to be fair to him, he was coming off a shoulder surgery and he didn't really get his touch with the offense. So you can tell Jim Harbaugh. Sometimes I don't want to say his name, but you can tell sometimes he really wasn't willing to let him grasp it all the way. And McCarthy on his own got to be able to use his legs on, and I'm talking mainly for the big games they'll have. He got to bring it all the way. You know what I'm saying? I need McCarthy to learn from his predecessors and take his game to the next level because we go depend on what he can do to take this team to the next level because he gives you your best chance as a passer and he gives you your best chance to run a lot of trickery that college football needs. So he has legs, he has an arm, and for you to compete, he's going to have to step his game up. And obviously, more than anybody, Jim Harbaugh is going to have to step his game up. Both coaches are actually going to have to step their game up. When I look at them, I kind of look at them like Trump and Biden. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to coaches, I got love for both of them, but I kind of got some like head scratching situations for both of them too. So. Yeah, but like I said, State, I want to see them finally fix some of their problems they know they've been having for the last couple of years. And I want to see them get the run game back. And I just want to see Michigan step it up another notch. It's time. Because with Jim Harbaugh, man, the excuses are running thin with me. Like, you've had this team for so many years. It's time to start winning for real. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no care about the cupcake part of the schedule. You know what I'm saying? If you beat your competition, you beat your competition regardless of how you start. That's your job to do. That's your job to do. But at the same time, you got to finish. And I need both. I don't care which one it is personally, but I need both of them to finish the season as coaches. I want to see both of them having a chance to win. I would love to see one day the Final Four be the Spartans in Michigan, so we could really have a ball in the last year. But I don't know when that'll happen, but hopefully soon.
You're going too far with that. You're going too far with that. First of all, don't bring the basketball part. I'm talking about Final Four. Okay, don't do that.
I'm talking
Don't
about the football, idiot.
don't do that. There's only one team that's going to come out and be in college football playoff. That comes out and whoever wins the Big Ten championship. It ain't gonna be no two teams. Let's just not get that. Let's just get that out the way.
I know,
Okay?
because that Columbus place they always sign fast. Let's sneaky way in no matter what
And then
happens
in the
there.
SEC, and the
Unless,
SEC
unless
is
you in the
already.
SEC, that's
Thank
the
you.
Yeah,
only way you getting two teams in there.
Thank you. And the playoffs will be expanded too. So, but other than that, right is it right now? No, don't do that.
but yeah, and
Hey,
I just want to see improvement for both teams, man. So that's just my take for that. Yeah.
listen. To 0-16 and none of that. You're talking this 14-0 and all that stuff. First of all, you couldn't even win 14 games last year. And you talk about you're 13-0. You went 13-0. You was 13-1. Okay, you count the TCU. You take that L, okay? You lost the TCU. So stop bringing up 13-0. You ain't bringing no 14-0. You're not beating Georgia. You're not beating Alabama. You're not beating any team in the SEC, okay? Just stop it, okay? It's not going to happen. I'm tired of these Michigan fans and all these analysts and they're projecting them to win a national championship because they look like they're the best team in football until they can, listen, beating that team in Columbus, it's like their national championship. If you seen the post I put on Instagram and Facebook, it tells you the stats and records with Jim Harbaugh in his 10 years since he's been with Michigan. Okay. I mean, if you haven't seen it, you need to take a look at that. So, I mean, I'm just saying.
And I gotta say this too. I gotta say this too. For all y'all Wolverine fans, please win a bowl game. Win a bowl game, then you can talk. Because y'all haven't won a bowl game in a while. We can sit here and say we won a bowl game. Y'all haven't won nothing. Y'all ain't won nothing in years, man.
Me
Come
personally,
on,
as
stop.
a real Michigan fan, I prefer to say F the bowl games. I want the damn championship for both either school, whatever it is. Fuck a bowl game. Give me the championship. That's
Well,
the only way to
well,
me.
you got
Go
it.
to real college.
Well, you got
I
a
get you,
championship
no, I'm
game.
not
You got the
Michigan.
Big Ten.
No, I'm talking about the Natty, man. Damn. I want the
I
Natty
know.
for either of the team. I'm sick of bowl games. I'm sick of hearing about bowl games in the state of Michigan.
Well,
I
tell him
want the
to win
fucking national
tell him to
championship.
win the college football playoff game. Tell him when that they were supposed to beat TCU and everybody
And
projected
that's
to
what I'm
beat.
saying. And you know I gave Harbaugh a little, both the quarterback and Harbaugh a little slack about that because that's my bro. You know, even if you gave it to Donovan Edwards on the goal line and he, get stopped, I would prefer that because at least that let them know that we was coming to score. I'm down the middle when I say it comes to both schools. I'm down the middle with all the schools here in Michigan, man, and my football team and my basketball team here in Detroit. I'm down the middle about it. Get the job done. That's really the only thing that needs to be said about this season for you to coach. Get the damn job done, especially you, Jim.
And then they
Especially
say,
Jim. I'm sorry. It's
No,
especially
no.
Jim Harbaugh.
Hey,
You got the
Noam.
biggest.
Hey, Noam, you got to say it right. It's Jesus in khakis.
yeah, yeah.
I tried. Listen, I've been trying to wean myself off of picking at him about the khakis. I don't get me back on that.
Yeah,
I'm about to
well,
start talking
listen,
like
listen.
freaking
Michigan, listen,
bum
Michigan,
deep.
Michigan's gonna try to go on this cupcake run, and then when they play us October 21st, they're gonna get this L, and then when they can beat that school in the Columbus in that last game of the regular season. I don't care because it seems like they're beating that team in Columbus, seems like their national championship. That's just like, oh yeah, we beat them. We're 2-0 against them, which y'all was 0-5 against them before that. I mean, make that make sense. Y'all was 0-5, and y'all celebrating your last two wins y'all had. Yeah, y'all dominated both of those games. Yeah, whoop de doo. But like that's y'all national championship. They turn around, y'all win the Big Ten title. Ooh, yes, that's fine and dandy. But guess what? You ran into Georgia and you got whooped bad. And guess what? You ran into TCU. You threw two pick sixes and you fumbled at the goal line. And guess what? You still took your L. You gave up 51 points, and you're supposed to be one of the best defenses in the country, and you took a loss. And to a team that beat you, that got their butt whooped in the national championship game, 65-7. So
You
I don't
know,
want to
I,
hear. I don't want to hear
I'm gonna do
nothing.
something. I'm gonna do something that's hasn't been done before. Because like I said, I enjoy this clash between both brands of DSN and y'all too. So I gotta make this one for me. Uh, I want to encourage both parties, and that includes you on 16 as well, to not say a damn thing until that week you're here. I'm talking the second that damn Monday hit. It's wartime, all the way up to game day. I want everybody to not say nothing. That way, when it's that week, you can get it all out during that week, and whoever win the game, get the bragging rights
I need
for a
listen, man. I don't
whole.
think. Listen. I'm waiting. The person I'm waiting on the most when he gets back. The person I'm waiting
That's
on.
what
I'm
I'm saying.
waiting on Big.
Big
I'm
A.
waiting on Big A.
I don't
I
even want to
want
see
Big
Big
A.
A back on screen until that week get
No,
here.
no, no, no,
That's
no,
how
no.
bad I want this.
Big A is gonna be back at some point. I want to see Big A because I want to see him. He talking this little mess all the time. Him and Big Willie and King and Cass and all them. I cannot wait. Matter of fact, I can't wait. When me, you, and Bree, was you in the middle, you in between, so it doesn't matter what you know. It's like it is what it is. When me and Bree, when Michigan State beat Michigan. I went through all five of them guys get on screen, man up, and take that butt whooping. Now, I don't want to hear none of the excuses. Because y'all had your fun last year. Y'all talked about me. Y'all talked mess about me. Y'all had your fun. Because when Michigan State win, I don't want to hear nothing. You know, excuses.
And you know what?
I
We gonna
want to
get
hear.
that in the private chat. We gonna say that in our private chat with them. We gonna get that settled. I'm gonna clear it right now. I want this to be no mentioning of each other's teams until that week start. Because I want to make this real fun. I want it all to build up and then and let it clash out. So no subliminals, no nothing. I want them if they want to participate in this. I want to see this explode, man. Because I swear, when this gang happens, and I swear,
Listen,
regardless of what team win, I know it's gonna be some hell. I know it's
I'm,
gonna be hell.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling,
I
I'm
want.
Mm-hmm.
telling you,
He said,
I'm
"Now, no."
telling, I'm telling you.
No, no.
I don't listen. I'm a when Michigan State win, I'm a FaceTime all those guys, and they gonna answer the phone, or they gonna be on the stream, I'm gonna be on they butt. Matter of fact,
Mm-hmm.
me and Bree gonna be on pause
Pause.
on them like right on rice,
Double
double
pause.
pause
Right there.
on them like right on rice, pause. Yeah, because I'm telling you, Michigan State, we're gonna win. We're gonna win. Y'all not coming to the woodshed and think y'all gonna beat us. Y'all not doing that. You see what happened the last time y'all came to the woodshed and what happened? You took your L. And you're gonna take your L this time. Y'all won last year up in Ann Arbor. The work environment I have to deal, and it's already got to deal with them U of M. Oh my goodness, some students. Oh my, I hate. Sometimes I don't like being a bus driver out there. Sometimes I really don't. Cause some dang old U of M students, boy, I'm
Hey
telling you.
man, you gotta be careful, man. I don't want you to end up like my man's in 12. Somebody in a Michigan fan give you some trouble. You give them a bus driver up because then they gonna be saying it's a hate crime.
Listen,
I don't got time to hear that.
listen,
You'll be
listen.
like, ain't you the dude that was in that video that was talking about us? Yeah, I remember you. I remember
Dang it.
you. Uh-huh.
Them U of M fans ain't gonna do anything. They ain't gonna do anything. Them U of M students not gonna do anything. They too bougie. I see them every day. They too bougie for anything. So they think they better than everybody. And oh yeah, we're Michigan. We're better than everybody. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I heard that for both schools and Central. I heard that for some reason on both of
listen,
them
Michigan
and
State
Central.
is okay. You get some like that in Michigan State, but they ain't as bad as U of M. They ain't as bad as U of M. U of M, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, even I had U of M students get on my bus and I say hello to them. They look at you, they look at me like, oh, why are you saying hello? And then, hey, that's not my job, is it? Well, okay, I guess I don't say anything, but you want to write and do a complaint on me and saying I'm driving too fast or I'm hitting curves and all that stuff. You want to go and make a complaint on that, huh? But you don't want to say hello, how you doing and all that. Okay, keep that same energy. U of M students, you them fans, and I'm so glad that student move in is over with. I'm so glad that junk is over and done with that over the weekend. I'm telling you, that student moving ain't no joke.
Y'all hate Michigan the way I hate Green Bay. I can't. Man,
Listen, it's
that
the
is crazy.
problem is with the Michigan. They just think they better than everybody, and they haven't accomplished enough in a long time. We're not go Michigan
See,
State not going around saying we're better than
okay.
this and all
See,
that all the time.
hey, Michigan is like that relative that all of a sudden wins the lottery and don't want nothing to do with you no more.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Exactly.
Michigan fan. That's a
Mm-hmm.
Michigan fan. That's how they are. We don't want nothing to do with y'all. We gonna leave y'all behind.
Uh,
We got this mansion. We got this money. We don't want nothing to do with y'all. That's how they are.
let me tell you
I'm
something, man. I would never do no mess like that.
a Michigan fan would. Uh huh. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they would,
Yeah.
and ain't got a problem doing it either.
I ain't gonna lie. If I hit the lottery, I ain't gonna miss it. I ain't gonna hold you up. I'm gonna
uh,
disappear. I ain't
see,
gonna hold
see,
you up.
See,
I'm a fan,
see,
but I'm a fan of both though. So can't say that.
see,
That's
yeah,
just me.
see. That's that Michigan fan coming out in you.
Yep,
Uh,
definitely. I want to
no,
definitely want to
the
get
state fan of me been trying to help motherfuckers for years. It's time for me to go, bro. It'll be
definitely. I want
just
to
like
give
Uncle Aaron. I was
it definitely, man. I want to
Oh
give
man.
I want to do a quick shout out right quick. I want to give a shout out to this man on the chat. That's a good friend of mine. She's one of the past, good friend of mine that she's out there in Ann Arbor, Shakina Jackson, man. I want to give a shout out to her, even though she is a Michigan fan. She's a good friend of mine, so I want to give a shout out to her, man. Thank you for joining on the chat, and very appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you,
Thank
So
you.
even though she's a Michigan fan, I always talk mess to her, but I want to give a shout out to her for, just subscribing to our channel and showing love and support, man. So definitely give a shout out to her, man. Give a shout out to
Man,
everybody is in the chat, man. And that's showing the
like we
love.
always say, if you can, share our content with some of you people who are all interested. We family based up here. They get on my nerves all the time, but I love you boys.
Yeah.
Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell that friend
And I
one
get
more
my
again.
friend, and then we'll be our friends, and we can be friends.
Right.
Definitely, absolutely, man. But Nomus, man, I'm gonna let you go ahead and take over, man. You sure guys continue going on? I gotta get out of here.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Go to work in the morning, man. I'll let y'all guys take over. You could talk Lions. How y'all want to do it, man? Just
Yep.
Nomus, you take it over from there, man.
Yep.
Yeah. Then go green, go white. Michigan State, Central Michigan. I guess that Michigan team playing against East Carolina, they ain't been relevant since Chris Johnson, TJ2K. I mean, come on, man. That East Carolina team would get Central Michigan get destroyed. Them, at least Central Michigan is more relevant than East Carolina. I mean, I'm just saying, but we ain't,
Yeah, the East Carolinas, the UNLVs, like, come on, man.
Yeah,
Come on,
I think one of the Michigan got a night game. I'm glad I ain't got to deal with that as a driver. They got a night game against one of them cupcakes, so hey.
See, Michigan too worried about us and that Columbus team. They need to be worried about Penn State too. People seem to forget about their top 10 team too. So they ain't gonna be no pushover either. So
they need to worry about
and I got them beating Michigan this year too. So
thank you, pretty.
Yeah,
Thank you.
saying.
Oh, that's really gonna hurt their feelings if they lose. Oh, that really gonna hurt their feelings. That really is gonna hurt their feelings if they
That's gonna hurt. That's
they
gonna hurt
lose.
them, man.
They lose. Oh man,
And if I'm not mistaken, I think it's in Happy Valley too. I think it's out there.
Oh, if they lose,
I gotta check that.
If they lose that, oh my goodness, I could just see Dynasty Sports Network guys is gonna cry, and on 16 gonna be crying. They gonna come with these type of excuses. They want to say, "Oh, fire Jim Harbaugh. He's a fraud." I can hear that. I can hear it coming from all those Michigan fans. I can hear it. I can hear it. So.
I mean, Jim is a little bit sus though. I can't say him. I got him myself under like, bruh, come on now. I'll give you a pass to get destroyed by Georgia. Everybody gets destroyed by Georgia, even Alabama. So can you at least beat the teams that even was looking confused that they was in the big game? Like that's my own team to him.
All right, fellas, get out of here, man. Catch y'all guys, man. Y'all hold it down, man.
For sure.
Right,
for sure. We got you, brother. We got you, man.
I won't be on that long anyway because I already missed the main event. So, all right. Shout out to the girl, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna just go ahead and give my take on my quick wrap up on all the preseason games and how I feel about some of the cuts, and then we go kick it out of here. Bree. I already know you probably gave your takes on it. For what I can say about all the preseason games, one thing I can honestly say, the Lions literally went out there, and I know a lot of people was trying to figure out why Romeo. Like normally, I'd be like trying to figure out like why is Romeo Gore playing, why is Julian playing. You know what? I had to think about why they were playing versus some of the other young guys that we don't get to see. Like I can get Julian, but I couldn't figure out why Romeo was playing all the games like that. And I think I realized something when I looked at the way the Lions stacked the roster for the preseason. You know, it was like a lot of different players that you could have fit for any rotation of a lineup. Like you could have guys that could have been on the O line, they could have been third teams, probably should have been third teams. They out there with the second teams. It seemed like they just went out there really to do what preseason is all about. Evaluate talent. And I love the fact that how Dan Campbell pretty much mentions that. Like he already knew who his starters was. He already knew who they were going to be starting. And you go out there, you get some of your young draft picks reps. Apparently, Brian Branch was so damn good, they didn't even need him to play all the games. But Jack Campbell, I can understand why he got more reps. If you know, the linebacker has quietly been one of our worst, if not the worst position group for this team over the last, I don't know how many years. So I can see why another young linebacker like him come in and get a lot of reps there. It was good to see James Houston get a tremendous amount more reps than he did prior to the year before. So you had that, and I guess Romeo and Julian they're trying to put the work in and let them know that they want to play for the team. They want to prove that they can go out there, whether they get traded or not, that they can go out there and ball. So I guess that's why they went out there and show that they can be leaders. They'll step up and go on the preseason game and earn their money. You know, they had to rework their deals. Tracy Walker reworked his deal, remember, early in the offseason. He played a lot because he coming off an injury. So I think it's about trying to get them in shape and trying to make sure, see if they truly are committed like they say they are. It's one thing to, rework the deal, but you will sacrifice knowing that you may still get need or potentially trade or cut and go out there and put the work in on the games that normally you try to stay out of to kind of preserve yourself. They played it, and I got to shoot my hat to them. So, like I said, the Lions just wanted to make sure who they had the right guys with them. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I took from this preseason. Obviously, had some names that a lot of them I expect to get cut. And you also had a couple names that was heartbreaking. Our boy Trace Lucas just got waived. That kind of hurt me a little bit because I see a lot of talent with him. I'm not sure about Steven Gilmore. And if he didn't get waived, it's totally understandable why. But if it was me, I would find a way to keep both of them because I think they both could be really good. A couple of years, we got veterans now. We got Emmanuel Mosley still trying to come back from help. So you got to make a roster spot there. Teddy Bridgewater is going to be the backup. Oh, by the way, now, I had to go here, Bree. To all the dumb I'm sorry, excuse my French people, but to all the dumb that sat there and killed this man, knowing he barely got playbook, barely even 2 days to look at the dang on playbook, and y'all sat here and killed this brother, knowing the O-line destroyed him, knowing that the other guy was worse. You killed this young man, and then I see on Twitter people still slamming him when he's playing better. And that's like, what in the absolute? You know what? This is why I go the way I do with the fan base sometimes. I try to ignore it because I get how some of them are, but I don't ever want to hear no more Teddy Bridgewater slander ever again. You have a situation where our young quarterback, who's pretty much going to be wrapped up for the season, can get to sit there and learn from two good veterans that touch Pro Bowls, that's put up numbers, that's been in playoff games. He get the privilege. When can you say that the Lions bring two quarterbacks that a young quarterback can actually learn something from and actually want to learn from? When have you as a fan been able to say that? Never. So at the end of the day, I got to salute overall. I have my opinions throughout the offseason about how I felt about Brad Hall's offseason moves, 3 years and his drafting. And, I'm still going to have my questions about it. But for the most part, what I can see going into the games, that they got to prove that, obviously they got to prove that they can win these games and go out there and put up a respectable season. But going just how I'm feeling that situation, I feel like they've done a pretty respectable job building a roster that young,
Mm-hmm.
has a lot of future talent there. The talent is growing. If they can either stay healthy and not get themselves in trouble, unfortunately, I think that was a screw job with JMO. I don't know why we get. I still feel like that needs to be done ASAP. No way in hell that should be a 6 game suspension, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
I feel better
Yeah.
about what I saw. I feel like the guys they cut should have been the guys that get cut. A couple of them old linemen that did play okay, unfortunately got waived, but likely if they can, make the practice squad. Covington was a lead tackle. He had a lot of potential. So, obviously Benito Jones is gonna be there. Got a lot of edge rushers. We don't know if the trade coming. Maybe it happen, by the end of this week or before maybe by tomorrow morning. Who knows? But I saw a lot where I need to see in preseason from the young players, which is what that was supposed to be about. The young guys showing the skill sets and the guys trying to make the roster. I saw what I needed to see. So yeah, I feel okay. The only thing I want to understand is how the lineups are going to work because I want to know who's playing what position, who's getting what snap. Like I'm having a hard time figuring out the linebacker core.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going?
Mm-hmm.
How many sets they go run? They go run 3 linebacker sets a lot or two. I think they're still rolling with two. But I'm trying to figure out who goes swap in and swap out. Who's making the rep? That's the part I'm struggling with. But other than that, once that question gets answered, I feel a lot more better about how they're going about the depth chart. It's one thing to cut players, but it's another thing to figure out who's go get the snaps. On game one and so on, so on. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's the only
Absolutely.
thing I want to say. But yeah, like I said, it was a
Absolutely.
pretty impressive preseason. I don't care for wins and losses. Just wanted to see what they built on. We need the beating that we got from Jacksonville, and we needed the competitive game that we had for the most part against the Panthers. So that was a good thing to see. It was. I also was happy to see that our defense kind of got lit up a little bit by the legs of the quarterbacks in the later game against the Panthers. I was kind of glad that because that was a thing last year. We struggled against quarterbacks that could really move. Hurts hurt us. Justin Fields hurt us at times. So they needed those type of games. I'm glad we had that against them. So hopefully
Mm-hmm.
those players got to learn how that works, and hopefully the
Mm-hmm.
Lions are going the season more prepared for a quarterback that can move this year. And hopefully the secondary will be healthy enough not to give up enough big plays because that was a thing I saw. It wasn't too many big plays. So hoping that's will translate. But yeah, man, that's all I got, man.
Absolutely.
How I feel about it.
Absolutely.
Uh, Welcome,
Absolutely.
Aaron. What's that, Lattimore?
Well, what's going on, Aaron
Thank you for
Lattimore? How you doing?
thank you for joining the show. We
Yes, sir.
just giving our last minute wrap up. For it. So, Bree, any final thoughts, bro?
I think with the season, man. I think with the preseason, it's just more. I mean, it. I wish we could have saw some of the starters out there. Wish we could have saw
Yeah,
golf and just to see how the offense would be. But hey, they just getting them fresh for the season. But it's just
yeah,
like I said, it's just more of the guys who's fighting for positions on this team.
yeah,
And you like to see teams. You like to see this team really just really show that they really want to make this team, and that's what it's really all about. Fortunately, there were cuts past 2 days,
yeah,
and then the final cuts is going to be tomorrow when they're going to change it to the 53-man roster. I did see some of the cuts that was made. Zigbo, of which wish he could have made it, but that
yeah,
running back position is loaded. Chase Lucas, they let him go.
yeah.
I was gunning for
Hopefully, they too late.
Drummond. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was gunning for Drummond just because he's a local kid. But hey, man,
right.
but hey, it happens. You know what I mean?
You know
So
who keeps surviving though? I told you he was gonna survive again. It's still kind of early. Pittman still surviving.
right, right, right. Right, the Wayne State product, man. He's still around. He still finds a way. If it ain't the regular team, it's that practice team. So he finds a way. He definitely finds a way. And hey,
Yeah,
if we can,
yeah,
yeah, But if we find a way to keep him, so um, it's crazy. But I'm just excited for the season, man. It's just let's just go down to this 53-man roster. Let's see what we really have. Then we can concentrate on Kansas City. All the guys don't make it. There's gonna be a team out there for you. It might not be with the Lions. It's gonna be with somebody else. So don't get don't get upset. Don't get negative. It's always gonna be something for somebody. You know what I'm saying? So just use that to your advantage. Use that as just the use it as fuel to be on another team because everybody's watching. All these teams is gonna be watching. So you know what, Aaron? I'm not gonna go to KC. I'm gonna go to the watch party, but I'm not gonna go to KC. I wish I had enough money to go to KC to go see them, but nah, I'm gonna just do it from afar. But yeah, man, I'm just excited for this season, man, and just hate for the cuts that happen. It's part of the game. I'm really just gunning for these rookies to go out there, the Broderick Martins, the Gibbs, the Jack Campbells, or the Porters, the Antoine Greens. Hopefully they can give him a chance to play because I think he can be a good receiver for this team, especially since J-Mo is suspended. He could be a guy that could take advantage of this. You know what I'm saying? His time. So I'm just looking forward to just this team and what their 53 man roster is gonna be, man. Because it's a lot of depth in that D line. Hopefully they can keep both core brothers, but I know they might let go of one. Unfortunately, I've even heard stories that they might try to trade James Houston, which I think is ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous to trade James Houston.
Yeah.
That'll be almost as ridiculous. I think that would be just as ridiculous as having it on this team.
Yeah.
That would be
With
you can't get more ridiculous than that.
We got ACL injury, so very soon.
Yeah, praying for that. Praying for that.
Right.
We don't want to wish anybody to get hurt.
Right.
Yeah, we don't want to wish anybody to get hurt and stuff. Even though he has played bad, but so I just looked on here and it's thanks for bringing that out, Duro. We're gonna move the show to Wednesdays starting September 5th. So instead of like the Mondays and Thursdays, we just gonna do one show on Wednesdays, just to let people know the change. So you won't be surprised, be like, oh man, I thought y'all was doing the show Monday. I thought y'all was doing the show because of Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, and stuff like that. We don't want to go on the same time as them. So we just want to change it to Wednesdays. Just, it'll just be. I think it'll just be better. It'll just be better.
Y'all basically get game recaps, updates on the sports, and then predictions going for the future game. So that's what y'all be getting. But any other final thoughts? Real quick, make it off.
Yeah, just moving the show to September 5th. Definitely a RIP to Terry Funk, Bray Wyatt, and Bob Barker. Special RIP to them. And just unfortunately, my Tigers lost today, so lost to the Yankees, but and it is what it is. But definitely excited about NFL football. Definitely excited about Spartan football on Friday. just excited. Just holiday coming up, man. Labor Day, arts, beats, and eats, and all the other stuff that's going on over the weekend. So, hey, man, just the sports, Pistons, uh, it's just excited about sports in general, man. All this football, college football just started last weekend. So Jazz Fest, just a lot of stuff that's going on, and I'm just excited about what's going on in the state of Michigan, and just throughout the whole country, man. So I'm just excited.
Yep. All right, Bree. So this one, first thing I'm gonna do is, like you said, rest in peace to all three of those gentlemen, man. Actually, I would like to give a quick moment of silence, if you
Mm,
can, just for those guys. Man.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So,
And I
first
gotta
off,
say this real quick too. Special. Uh, Gotta give congratulations, a special to Corey Davis. He retired from the NFL, so give a shout out to Corey
yeah,
Davis.
shout out to Corey Davis. I think he'll be back, but I think he's just stepping away. But yeah, shout out to you taking that opportunity to do that, Corey. And first, you know, like I said, man, we'll be moving to Wednesdays from here on out. Like Bree said, to you, Aaron. Yeah, I had figured out that was you as Lion Man. I figured that was you, Lion Man. We probably gonna try it soon, man. Get you on the show. We had Banks on the show recently too, and Dion. So we'll definitely be trying to get you on
Yeah,
here. Man. I know we chopped it up several times before in Discord. So yeah, man, definitely we're looking to definitely that future. But
yeah,
as far as the Lions, man, I just want to see them be healthy this year. I think that's the most that we can ask for is be healthy and just do their best this year. Obviously, there's going to be a ton of pressure. Like I said before, there's no such thing as a must-win game for them. Every game, whether you win or not, is going to be must-win. They have to have that mentality at all times. Like it's you against the
question.
world. You know what I'm saying? It's them against the world, man. So I need them to have that mentality to go move forward, uh, and just do what they have to do, man. Just stay together as a team right now and play good defense and play sound offense and just like I said, stay healthy. Another thing I
Yes,
need
sir.
to see is I just want to see the Tigers and Pistons keep moving forward, man. Tigers, I know they go win some, they go lose some, but just finish the season best way you can. We gotta find a way to get to one more Tigers game. Cannot miss the opportunity for Miggy to
Hmm.
miss him play. We gotta try to get down there. Um,
Absolutely.
but yeah, try to get
Absolutely.
yeah. Let's
Yep.
just
Yeah.
focus on all of us, cleaning our lives up, man. Trying to be happy out here. A lot of dark stuff going on. A lot of
Hmm.
hard times happening for everybody. We as well, man. We live our lives. We work. We do what we do, and that's just what life is about. So we
Yes,
want to
sir.
try to live healthy if we can, as best we can, man.
Yes,
Love you,
sir.
love you. Follow us if you ain't had a chance to hit the subscribe button, though, man. Please do so and hit that notification bell because if you don't hit the notification bell, you won't know I put out new content. I got YouTube shorts there I released today, the other day that you go watch. Check out all my YouTube shorts if you can. Go check out my previous video. I'll be trying to drop one maybe by tomorrow or Wednesday, hopefully tomorrow. What I'm saying? Give my wrap ups. Hopefully I can get out there tomorrow. But yeah, man, it's content coming. If you want any questions, man, just reach out to us on Facebook. Type the same D313 we'll do our best to respond and and whatever, man. If you want to come on the show, always hit us up some kind of way on our social media. You reach out to me
Yes,
or you
sir.
reach out to Reed or Daryl himself. And just let us know. We'll see what we can do. So
Hmm.
just stay tuned with us. Oh, shout out to Mr. Steve Weiss. Sad I didn't get to meet him. But
Yeah. Good
shout out to him
guy.
for coming on the show. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to him again for coming on the show, man. Appreciate
See,
that.
I gotta give another shout out too. I gotta give a shout out to Maniac Tim. Cause I check his show sometimes. He actually shouted our show out on his show yesterday. So I just want to say thank you, Maniac Tim. You definitely welcome to come on the show. Thank you for putting us out there and just mentioning our shows and what time our shows is and the new days and stuff like that. So thank you, Maniac Tim. I appreciate it, and because he always,
shout out to Maniac Tim.
Because he always, asks us when, he wants to join our show and he can join the show whenever. I say, hey, man, you can do it whenever you want to. It's no problem.
Yep.
So check out his page as well, Maniac Tim on YouTube.
Yep. Maniac Tim. Yep. Make sure y'all go to that channel, subscribe to it, show him some love, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate the shout out to him, man. Shout out to their platform. So. You know what I'm saying? So
shout out to everybody. Man. Shout out to DSN. Shout out to all the Michigan content creators out there, man. We had, no hate. We all just congratulate y'all, and we all just got to come together and just let us all succeed. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. Right. And with that being said, everybody. That's the new breed. I'm Miss J. Salute to everybody in the chat that showed up today. And we out here, coach.
We out of here.